Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Blissful Living Podcast. I am the Queen of Feeling Fabulous, Rochelle Marie Lawson. Have a fabulous guest for you, and she is, if you've been following us, you know that we're getting ready to embark on a 5-city tour around the U.S. called the Brave, Bold, and Unstoppable Women's Summit Tour. And the guest today is one of the speakers for the Brave, Bold, and Unstoppable Woman Summit Tour. And so I'm going to let her introduce herself in a minute. But of course, you know, we have to take care of a little business. So, as you know, I like to say with this disclaimer, this is a time for you to find a place to sit, get something to write with, relax, get your favorite beverage while I take care of business. And then when we convene back, you will hear about the fabulous guest because I know you are going to want to take notes because she's going to share some nuggets of gold with you. And I don't want you to miss out. So while you're doing that, let me take care of business. I want to thank our first sponsor, Blissful Living for You at Blissful Living, the number 4, the letter U.com. They are these hosts, the creators of the Brave, Bold, and Unstoppable Women's Summit. And you can find out how to get your tickets and where the tours is, the cities the tour is actually going to be at www, of course, dot blissful living, the number 4, the letter U.com. In addition, they have some fabulous things to help you unlock your bliss so you can step into living your dream life by balancing your pillars of wellness, wisdom, and wealth. So check out Blissful Living for You at Blissful Living, the number 4, the letter U.com. The other sponsor is All Day Cable Incorporated, telecommunications company located in the heart of Silicon Valley, been in business since 1989. They are the premier women-owned, minority-owned telecom installation company in the western region of the United States. I want to say in the entire United States. However, if you have a need for voice data, fiber optic cabling, wireless access points, audio, video, speaker systems, anything that you need to help you keep your telecommunications operating effectively so you can make that connection the first time, then you definitely want All Day Cable to be your company because, like I said, they handle network distribution in all aspects. But their motto is they make the right connections. So when you go to connect, there are no mishaps and you get to connect with your customer. And, if you can't make that connection, sometimes that can mean lost revenue. So check out All Day Cable because they make the right connections for you. Alrighty, so you've had time to get something to write with, to get your favorite beverage, to tell your family to leave you alone for a few minutes because you're gonna want to take notes with regards to this guest. Her name is Betsy D, affectionately known as Betsy D, but she is Betsy Dickerson. And I'm going to let Betsy tell you all a little bit about her. Betsy, how you doing, girl? Welcome to the show, and you are on. So tell the audience and the viewers, what is Betsy? Who is she, and why is she with the Brave, Bold, and Unstoppable Women Summit this year?
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Rochelle Marie. I'm so glad to have found you and met you. So what I'm up to in the world fits so much in with what you're doing. I have kind of just been on this lifelong journey of studying, experiencing health and wellness. And it started because I was diagnosed with high cholesterol when I was 18. And I'm a pretty thin, pretty fit person, but it just freaked me out. And so that started me doing all kinds of research on what to eat because I didn't want to be taking medication for the rest of my natural life. So what to eat, how to exercise to, move that cholesterol through the body, how to deal with stress, how to kind of handle personal and professional growth. And those are my pillars, nutrition, movement, mindfulness, and personal and professional growth. And so as I've gone on this journey, Rochelle Marie, I've learned so much. And I finally decided I need to share this with the world because I've got some stuff behind me and we are in this tough time right now. And I feel like a lot of people are not taking care of themselves. And so what I offer is simple, easy, kind of not life-changing so much, but just easy things to kind of get you back on the path to wellness. So
I
that's
love it. I love it. So see, Betsy is near and dear because she understands and knows the value of our health and well-being. And in today's day and age, we get so wrapped up with so many other things that are external of us, but does nothing to
right.
help elevate, balance, re realign our greatest asset, which is our health and well-being.
Yeah.
And so Betsy's stoppable wellness um, that she has discovered is amazing. Like she said, cholesterol, high cholesterol at the age of 18 for a thin person, it's not unheard of, but it when it happens, you're like, wait a minute, this is something that happens to overweight people that have high blood pressure that are in their 40s.
Exactly. That's it. That was
Right? You know, overweight men actually in their 40s that have high blood pressure, erectile dysfunction, and all kind of stuff going on. Um, but she realized that it was important to step in order for her to be that brave, bold, unstoppable woman. She needed to take care of her health. So, Betsy, with regards to nutrition, so I'd like to start there because I don't think people realize that what we take in builds the foundation of what we build our health and wellness on. I mean, what we take in actually fuels our body, right?
yes.
So, with regards to nutrition, what is one thing that you notice that people deny that they need to change when it comes to eating?
Quite honestly, Rochelle Marie, I think people just get lazy, right? They don't want to make a choice that is easy. It truly is easy, but people get lazy. They would rather just go to the drive-through. They would rather just go to the vending machine than to actually make a choice earlier on to bring a salad to work or, go to the grocery store and grab something that's more healthy rather than going through the drive-through. And I think that people, when they get in that lazy cycle, they just can't get themselves out of it. And so they continue to make bad choices and they continue to then not feed the body in what it really needs. So, in the research that I've done, the omega-3s, the salmon, the tuna, the mackerel, leafy greens, berries, beans, those kinds of foods are foods that are sustainable in terms of they keep your body full. They will help your brain function better. They're all different, kind of colors because we want to make sure we get all different, all the different things to feed the body. So I think there's really simple, easy choices that people can make and they just choose not to.
You know, you said some really important things, and the first thing you said was people choose not to make the choice because they want something easy. And in the context of easy, they're really killing their bodies.
Yeah.
I see it. I see it tremendously as I drive around town, my
Right.
city. The fast food lines are through the roof, and even during COVID, we couldn't go out. You know what I mean? But the fast food lines were still through the roof, and I couldn't
Mhm.
understand that. Like here's a time where we can cook nourishing meals, and we can spend that time with family, like how when we grew up, right? And we can make sure that our family gets a taste of healthy, nourishing cooked meals and pull away from the fast food addiction. And
Yeah.
it still didn't happen. And I don't think people realize that these fast food chains, even though their food might be quick and easy and might taste good, it is addictive. And the food
Mhm.
is the worst food you could probably take in. So, when you first discovered you had the high cholesterol, what were some of the things, because you mentioned a couple of things, but what were some of the things that you began to do slowly, incorporating them into your life so that they became sustainable habits and quote unquote addictions as well?
Yeah. So I'll tell you, when I first, was made aware of the cholesterol issue, I kind of went to an extreme. I ate only salads. I ate a little bit of chicken. I I think I, kind of deprived myself of the nutrients that I really needed because I wasn't feeling that great, right? I wasn't energized. So I kind of started incorporating a little more healthy food into the diet. And what I realized is that moderation is the key. So, you can make the choice to maybe go to the drive up or drive through once in a while, but it shouldn't be where you always go. So as I worked through kind of adding things back into my diet, it was always under the guise of what's the healthy choice? What's going to help my brain, my body be better, be able to exercise? Because that's another big part, right? You got to have both the fuel to feed the movement as
Right.
well as the fuel just to keep your body going.
Right.
So,
Wow. You said another important thing. And I think people, when you get a specific diagnosis, and I've heard it because I'm a nurse, um, over the long course of my career. I'm not in clinical practice now, but I would hear, oh, well, it's not that simple. Yeah, it is. Instead of driving into the drive-through today or this time, just drive past the drive-through and go home and find something to eat, right?
yeah.
You don't have to totally kick your drive-through fast food habit to the curb today,
No.
but it's a gradual process that allows you to be successful and allows you to sustain it. And what you'll find, I think, is eventually, like you're saying, you start making these adjustments because you start feeling better. You start noticing things about you. And so you start thinking, maybe I won't go to Burger King today or
Yeah.
Whataburger or whatever it is, McDonald's. Maybe I'll just, maybe I won't get that triple venti latte, extra caffeine, multi shot, at Starbucks, right? Maybe today I won't spend $25 on coffee today.
Yeah.
Maybe I take that $25 and go to the grocery store and get some fruits and vegetables and make me a nice salad and know that I'm doing really something healthy and good for my body. You also said something about, you mentioned omega-3s, and I love omega-3s for the benefits that they provide. But I want you to share with the listeners and the viewers your experience with omega-3s and anything else that you have utilized to keep your cholesterol in check.
Yeah. So omega-3 can obviously come in pill form, or you can get it through foods. So the foods that I mentioned that are high in omega-3 are salmon, tuna, mackerel, kind of they call it the cold water fish, sardines, anchovies, if you're into that kind of, they're a little bit extreme, but
Caesar salad dressing. Caesar
Yes.
salad dressing for this.
There you go.
Sorry.
So that, and then the pills are tough. Like I worry about supplements in general because I worry about the quality. I worry about, if there's other additives that are in supplements that you don't know about. So I'm a little leery of the supplement. I'd rather get it through natural food sources,
Right.
Like the fishes. Leafy greens, dark leafy greens like spinach, kale, collards, they also are good in those antioxidants and the omega-3s. And then some of the other food that helps to kind of roto-rooter the system
Yes.
are things that are high in fiber. So beans, any other kinds of cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower, apples, bananas, because the way the cholesterol works through the body is it's eliminated in our waste. So it's important to kind of help the body move that stuff along and get it out so that, you can prevent having to take these cholesterol lowering drugs, which are pretty intense. And you probably know better than I because of your RN degree, but they're not really very good for the body in the long term. So
I love that. Hopefully you all were taking note because she gave you a wealth of information, not only about foods that for lowering cholesterol and keeping your blood pressure in check naturally in energizing your body, but also foods that help you to naturally detoxify and sweep out the sludge and the toxins that get trapped in our colon that causes toxins to go back into our blood system and creates this whole chaotic problem with our blood pressure, cholesterol, and any other problems that we can have. So she gave a lot of stuff. And with the omega 3s, I'm a huge proponent of omega 3s. I used to tell my patients when I was in clinical practice about omega 3s, particularly if they were having high blood pressure issues or cholesterol issues. Now, I wasn't in primary care, so to speak. My discipline was emergency room nursing, but I always like to share wisdom about natural things that we can do to keep our body healthy with my patients because I'm just a huge advocate of the natural, holistic way to live. And so Betsy shared a wealth of information. Now, Betsy, you also mentioned some other things that you do when it comes to health and well-being. And as a woman, first of all, women, pay attention. Pay attention. You know, high cholesterol is a precipitator and can be a precipitator of cardiac disease. We exhibit cardiac signs and symptoms differently than men. So this is huge for you because if you're a woman and you've been told your cholesterol is elevated, the HDL, LDL, you want to know what those numbers are, as well as your total cholesterol number count. If you've been told that you have high blood pressure, the next time they come in, they're going to put you on medication if your blood pressure is elevated, and statins, which are anti-cholesterol drugs, which I hate. Then you need to pay attention to this because just figure out cooking salmon once a week and then starting to incorporate that, eating kale, having a nice kale spinach salad, doing a smoothie, something like that can be so profound in changing your cardiac stuff and lowering your cholesterol, but taking the omega 3s naturally is so beneficial to the body. So Betsy, share with the listeners some other words of wisdom when it comes to being that unstoppable woman and having that beautiful health that we all seek and desire.
Yeah. Well, before we get off the food, I want to mention one more thing that I forgot, and that is to shop the perimeter of your grocery store first, because that's where all the good stuff is. I mean, think about it. Your favorite grocery store, so like mine, okay, it starts with bread, so you can maybe kind of walk past the bread aisle, but there's the produce, and then there's dairy, and then there's meat and the fish, and then other kind of cold items. And so you want to shop that perimeter first, because that's going to be where you're going to get the most healthy and beneficial foods that you need. Because if you think about it, all the stuff in the middle aisles is sugar, 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 sugar. And that's a whole other conversation about how bad sugar is for us. So that's my last
tip. Another nugget of gold. Pay attention. And when you think about it, visualize this, you guys, right now. Take a moment, visualize. Go into your favorite grocery store and think about the perimeter. And then think about the innards. You know, you got the sugar, you got the processed foods, you got this canned goods. That stuff is dead food. It's been sitting in there for ages. They just started putting dates on them, but when I was a kid, there were no dates. There was no dates. My grandmother's cabinet that was probably 20 years old, and she probably opened them up and fed them to us.
Right? I know my mom did. Yeah.
Right, because they didn't have the kind of knowledge that we have now. But when you think about that and visualize that, truly all the good stuff is on the perimeter. You know, so keep that in mind. Okay, Betsy.
Okay.
Continue on.
So next up, I think, for us to be bold, unstoppable, beautiful women, we really have to be conscious about exercise. Because, and again, don't have to be out running marathons. You don't have to join a gym if that's not your thing, but you have to move your body every day. At least 15 minutes a day. And if it's just a matter of walking out to the corner and back 3 or 4 times, whatever it takes, but 15 minutes a day of movement is really going to make a big difference for you. And you could incorporate it too if you're working from home. So a lot of us are these days. And you come downstairs and say you're getting some tea and you got to wait for your water to warm up. Do 10 or 15 squats while you're waiting for your water to warm up.
That's a great idea.
Right? I mean, there's lots of really simple, easy things that we can do to kind of just start to incorporate that movement. And as you incorporate the movement, you start to create endorphins that are wanting you to move more every day. And so that's where you kind of start to get that motivation to like maybe take a longer walk, or maybe I'll go to the pool and swim a couple laps. But the thing to remember is don't stall out because you think it's going to be a big time commitment and that you're not going to be able to sustain it. I mean, it's okay to take a day off. Again, everything in moderation.
I love it. I love the exercise component. Um, again, probably because I've been a gym rat for a long time, for 3 decades plus. But not just that. The simple act of movement. We're all so stagnant and stationary sitting, which is bad for our posture, bad for our muscles, bad for our connective tissues. And I know a lot of times I find myself, I'm very guilty of this. We'll be sitting for hours, and then when I realize, oh my God, I've been sitting for 4 hours straight, I go to get up and it's like, whoo, my body says, girl, you're not really 29 anymore. I don't care what you tell yourself. It's those reminders. And so it's just a reminder of like, okay, I set my clock or my beautiful iPhone or what smartphone every hour to make sure I get up, even if it's just walking up and down the hallway, or
Yep.
Walking to the bathroom or back, or walking up and down the stairs. That's
Yep.
a little bit of movement, which is good. But also things like just going, like you said, going out in nature. You don't have to go to the gym. You don't have to be a gym rat like me. You can go out in the nature and walk around your house, or go out in your backyard and do laps in your backyard or whatever.
Yeah.
But the beauty of you can make that exercise whatever you want it to be. And that's what you shared, which is what I love. It could be anything you want. You just have to move. You
Yes.
just have to move. And
Right.
that's what keeps us healthy and agile and all of that good stuff. Okay, so
Yes.
Betsy, tell us some more goodies about how we can be brave, bold, and unstoppable.
Yes.
And
Well,
smart men that listen to us and watch us, and smart men. What else can we do? I'm loving this.
well, I like what you kind of touched a little bit about going out in nature. Okay, because so that's the next thing that I think is really important, is a mindfulness practice. And being out in nature is one of the things that you can do. Some people consider mindfulness to be meditation, and then they get a little freaked out because they can't sit for too long and meditate, which I get. It's not easy, but you don't have to necessarily do it for 15 minutes. Again, small steps, little pieces. If you could just sit for a minute and close your eyes and just breathe, you would be astounded at the difference that your body will feel when you're done. And because if you're just concentrating on your breath and you're setting aside your to-do list and your worries and your cares, and you're just bringing your center into yourself, it's an amazing feeling to connect with your body and just slow down.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I love the breathing. I think so often we forget about just breathing. The act of just paying attention to our breath can be an act of meditation.
Yes.
Meditation seems to bring into everyone's mind, you got to sit and be in, pose and, quiet. But there's all forms of meditation, and just sitting out in nature and just paying attention to your breath
Right.
for a minute or two. That's a form of meditation that brings clarity to you, opens up your mind, allows your body to get that fresh oxygen that has your cells like buzzing, like, oh, and it just helps you to kind of reset and restore for that moment. I love that. I love that you said, what we can use our breath as a form of meditation, and being out in nature is one of the best things so you get a double dose.
Right.
Like being out in nature, you get fresh air, and then you're doing a little mindfulness breathing. It's funny because some of the most times we get so excited, our breath is going, we're in and out and shallow
Mhm.
breathing and stuff.
Mhm.
And then if you pay attention and you like pay attention to your breath in that moment of excitement,
Mhm.
you're able to settle and ground yourself. You still could be excited, but the energy is so much more, I want to say, encompassing, and you
Yes.
have that container for it versus if you're all over the place and spastic and the energy is just all over the place. So
Yeah.
going out in nature, you guys, paying attention to your breath
Mhm.
for a few minutes, for however long you want to, and just
Yes.
realizing that you are just really taking nature to its most finest point and utilizing it in healing yourself and keeping yourself healthy and well. Okay, one
Okay.
more tip, Betsy,
All right,
because
one more tip, but I also want to kind of just piggyback on that a little bit more. The beauty of nature and your breath is that it's with you. You don't have to go buy something to breathe. You don't have to go buy something to go outside and sit in the park. So you've always got nature and the breath with you to help you with your mindfulness.
I love that. And see, it is free.
Right.
It's free.
It's free.
So
And in these
more goodies. It's free. You don't have to
right,
pay for it.
you need free in these days. Yes. Okay, so last up is what I call mindset, and it's two parts, I think, personal and professional. Um, so there's, when it comes to like a personal mindset or personal growth practice, for me, it's a gratitude journal, right?
Mm,
Uh, and I do it, it depends. Sometimes I do it in the morning, sometimes I do it at night, sometimes I do it in the afternoon, sometimes I do it when I just need to kind of stop and take a break. So, but it's important to do gratitude journals because we have so much to be grateful for, Rochelle Marie, right?
yeah, I agree. I agree.
And I think a lot, if you have that grateful energy that we're putting out there into the universe, I think as a collective, it could make a difference in this kind of yuck that we're in right now. At least that's what my heart believes. So that's the personal growth. And then professional growth. So I have a corporate job and I'm really big into leadership development. And, there's so many books out there on, how to be a good leader and how to take care of your people. And for me, the best tip, leadership tip that I could share with you is to just be aware of how your actions affect others. And that, I mean, that's not only a personal, but a professional tip, I think.
Oh my gosh, that was huge. That was, oh wow, that was huge.
Oh,
Because I don't I look, I told you she was gonna be fabulous. Um, I just didn't know how fabulous, but she left us with something that she gave us lots of nuggets of gold, but she left us with that last statement. And that was really profound for me. It touched me because so often we go through our day, we go through our life, whether personal, professional, family, or friends, and we're not always mindful of how we choose to be and show up for those people, what we choose to say, or what we just. And so I love that. I just being mindful, take before you speak, take a moment to breathe
yeah.
and
Right.
then speak. Particularly if it's in a heated or discussion type of
Oh, yeah.
situation, because those are the times that we can just let our feelings get in the way and
Mhm.
say things that we would rather wish we wouldn't have said in both professional and personal situations. So that was huge, Bessie, and thank you so much for sharing that with us because that nugget of gold will close out the show.
Awesome.
So there you guys have it, the phenomenal, brave, bold, unstoppable, fierce, fearless, and you know what? Queen girl, lady, chick, gal, Miss Betsy D, affectionately known as Miss Betsy D or Miss Betsy Dickinson.
Yeah.
She has been amazing for us today. So thank you, Betsy, for being a guest on the
Thank
Blissful Living podcast. And thank you for saying yes to being a speaker. Now tell everybody which location you're speaking at.
I'll be at the Denver event at the Hyatt Regency Tech Center in Denver, Colorado, August 27th. Come join us.
Come join us. We're going to have a ball. We are going to have a ball no matter what. So there you have it. The phenomenal Betsy D, who's going to be a speaker at the Brave Bold Unstoppable Woman Summit Saturday, August 27th in Denver at the Denver Hyatt Tech, Regency Hyatt Tech Hotel in Denver. It's only one.
Yep.
And you can go again to Eventbrite to find out more about pick up your tickets, or you can go to Blissful Living for you at Blissful Living, the number 4, the letter U.com, or you can also go to www.unstoppable-women's-summit.com to find out all of the locations, all of what's going on, and to get your tickets. And we've got some goodies. If you're a woman veteran, we highly want you to be there with us, because we do support our women vets, our forgotten heroes, and we don't want to forget any woman on this journey, because united we are powerful and we can change the face not of only our nation but of the world, ladies. So let's join together and be in solidarity as brave, bold, and unstoppable women. And that's my time. So subscribe to the show, share it with everyone you love and care about, share that about the event, and check in with Betsy's. Her information will be in the show's notes. I want to thank our sponsors of the show, Blissful Living for You at blissfullivingforyou.com, as well as All Day Cable Inc. at All Day Cable Inc. Inc. All Day Cable Inc.com. I am the Queen of Feeling Fabulous, Rochelle Marie Lawson. And until next time, I am wishing you peace to your mind, wellness to your body, tranquility to your spirit. May you have a happy, healthy, and wealthy day. Goodbye for now.